Welcome back, guys. Another shelf, another day of inventory. Thanks for coming back to this channel. If you're new here, welcome. I've owned this grocery store for 3 years. It's been a lot of ups and downs, but we started it from the ground up, and there's been a lot of problems too. I'm gonna get all into all that. Enjoy this video. If you like it at any time, please hit the like button. It really helps this channel grow. If you're interested in finances, small business, and entrepreneurship, please subscribe down below. And we're going to be bringing that to you every single Monday, sometimes twice a week by surprise. And if we're really feeling motivated, 3 videos a week. But let's get into this one. So here is the history on how we took this small store from zero to, on average, $50,000 a month. So starting at the beginning, there was really nothing in this store at all. Zero, no walls, nothing, no electrical. We invested our money into that. That's a whole nother video that I've made before. But for the step-by-step process, we started with about 50 different items, and it was just a fruit and vegetable store that grew into almost a full-on grocery store in a matter of 3 years. We started with about 50 items of just fruits and vegetables and your basic milk and bread. And little by little, we started growing from there. You know, we started grabbing olives, peanut butters, honeys, local cheeses, kind of anything that we knew that would sell in our store. We started bringing out in item by item. And that's exactly how I suggest doing it, step by step, testing the market, seeing what sells and seeing what doesn't sell. And you'll slowly start to see your sales go from 0 to 10,000 to 20,000 to 30,000 to 40,000, 50,000, and hopefully one day 100,000 a month, depending on if you can do this right with enough space. So I have you guys balanced on a bunch of soup cans right now. I always tell you that it's just the best tripod is things around you, and that's exactly what we're doing right now. So to get into it very simply, if you don't start with a lot of money, you have to do it the way we did it, with item by item, regardless if you're just doing any retail store. But especially with grocery, you really want to make sure you know what your customer wants, because there's a dreaded expiry date that will end up causing you waste and losing you money, and you don't want to lose any money if you don't have to. So take it step by step and see what sells and see what doesn't sell, and you can bring in each item step by step and without taking too much risk or buying too much inventory at once that just sits and ties up your money, or potentially goes bad and you have to eat it yourself or throw it away. The saying usually goes, more money, more problems. But around here we like saying more inventory, more problems, because you have to keep track of so much more now. Even though it will make you more money, you have to make sure your inventory is fresh, you have to make sure it's coming in, you have to make sure nothing's out of stock. From 40 items, times that by about 1,000 when you do get a full-on store with everything in it. So it becomes a lot more work, but it's worth it. It keeps your customers happy because they know that coming into your store is worth their time. You'll have everything they need for their dinner tonight or for their weekend, and they can plan accordingly because you have enough options for them to actually make their trip worth it into your store. And it also helps you out by doing 2 things. Sorry, a squash just fell here. Okay, great. What helps people actually spend more money in your store, right? They have more options, so they're going to start spending more. We went from a $10 average customer order to about a $23 average customer order, which will take your sales almost double, right? As long as you can keep bringing those people in. And if you do the simple math on how much different it can be, if you have 100 customers a day spending $10 each, rather than 100 customers spending about $22 each, your sales are doubled right then and there just by taking the chance on more inventory. Without doing much more advertising or anything, just having those products available that people can buy here instead of somewhere else just helps your profit tremendously. So that's my biggest recommendation to you guys. So as you're in business longer and longer, your store will become more well known. You'll become more prominent in your community, and word of mouth will spread as long as you're doing a good job. Now, a big thing that took us from 0 to 50,000 a month in this store with just 2 people working here is advertising. Our social media game was really weak at first, and we started to grow it little by little, by making sure we're posting pictures almost daily, and just making sure that people remember us and kind of make sure we're in their face almost every day. Things like cafes, retail, grocery, they always do very well because everything's just so Instagram friendly. The food on Instagram is always well liked, And we noticed if you put people in your pictures, the photos do much better and get spread out to more people. So we started incorporating, our family into some pictures, or me and Felicia and I into pictures, and it started getting more and more tractions. We built a following, and those pictures got spread out to more people, and our store is more well known than it was when it first opened. So to go from 0 to 50,000 a month took a lot of advertising every single day. It's something you have to really maintain, making sure you're commenting on people's pictures back or answering any questions on those pictures. And slowly people started sharing our pictures, and it got more well spread. We got more likes on pictures and Facebook and everything like that. So make sure the social media game is on point, and it's almost free advertising, and it's very underused for how powerful it really is for something like a brick and mortar store. So this year we started investing into advertising with money we made from our store. We started pushing back into spending money on social media ads to get our name even further out there and kind of push it outside of this community. Most of your regular customers will only be from your neighborhood or your regular kind of 3-kilometer radius around your store. And there's so many people that still come into this store and say, oh, I didn't know you guys were here. I live on the other side of town. That's where you really want to start pushing your ads out further and further to build your name in the city, where you'll get people kind of who maybe were just driving by and will stop in your store because they saw your ad on Facebook. So that really helped kind of grow this store as well and get more people in the door. So another thing that really will make you stand out and bring you from where we were 0 to beyond maybe 100,000 a month is your customer service. And that's as simple as making sure every customer is greeted in your store, every customer is being helped or has found what they needed. And you really want to make that connection when they first walk in your door. A simple hi, how are you? Or if you can remember people's names, it's very powerful. Everyone loves hearing the sound of their own name. And when you walk in a door and someone says, hi Ray or hi Felicia, they're going to become a regular customer. So that's exactly what you need, regular customers. And that's exactly the rapport you want to build with them, so they know you actually care about their business and care about them being a customer. Because a lot of them will just come in to support you. So you really want to go above and beyond in this section and make sure that everyone's being greeted, everyone's being helped, everyone knows what they're can find what they're looking for. Really helps differentiate you from the big box stores where people just kind of feel like a number or another random customer in the grand scheme of their sales. And this goes for the online world as well. You want to make sure every customer complaint is taken care of, every review is responded back to, either positive or negative. Any questions you get through your website are addressed, and just overall making sure every single customer is happy and taken care of. So customer service may be the one piece of advice that I can tell you guys that may make or break your business. If people are not treated properly in your store, then they won't be returning customers, and you won't be having that regular returning revenue from them just because they weren't treated right in your store. So make sure you're always kind of friendly and help people as best as humanly possible. I know there's always going to be difficult customers, but 95% of people generally are okay as long as they're helped properly and greeted at the door. And when you're in business, especially with food, you really got to start following the trends of how people are eating nowadays. So the gluten-free, the vegan, and the keto stuff, we really capitalized to be more of a specialty market. And we became known for it in the city, as you will too if you can do it right and offer a good selection that actually is what people want to see in your store. So as the keto wave, grew, we expanded the inventory as much as possible. And then when it kind of shrinks down towards the holidays, we shrink down our inventory because people generally kind of fall off keto towards the holidays. Vegan and gluten-free sections in our store always kind of remain consistent because generally people who are gluten-free don't have a choice. They have to eat gluten-free. And vegans can be very passionate, so our vegan section is always growing as well. And this helps so you can start bringing in more regular customers who are not only in your area, so the word kind of spreads further and further as you bring in items that they can't find anywhere else. And so with that being said, there's always the other side of the coin. This really doesn't come easy or overnight. It's not a fast cash business by any means. So to put it in perspective, it's about a 60 to 70 hour work week for me and Felicia, and we're growing it from there, right? So hopefully we'll go back to 40 hours one day. So for example, even on a Monday, we're here kind of setting up the rest of the week, bringing in inventory, checking inventory. We have a shelf to build, and there's always something to be done, right? It never really truly ends, and going from 0 to 50,000 came with more money, but more problems. So to give you a list of problems would be kind of negative in a way, but to give you an example, it's heating and cooling around here. This cooler is not cooling anymore, and I just found that out this morning when I came in here, and the product in here cannot be sold, so that's a loss on mine. But yeah, this is all part of the business, and when you're your own boss, there's no one to dish it off to and no one to pay for it but you. So that's a good example of something to expect if you ever get into business for yourself. You may not make any money for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? So make sure you know what you're getting into beforehand, because that might be one of the biggest downfalls of trying to start a small business, is you may never make enough money that you're putting into it, or you may never make any money at all. And that's the risk you're gonna take, to be your own boss and follow your passion or follow your dreams and work on something that you truly want to grow and work on to build a better future. So that might be the downfall, but the risk is worth the reward. So this is my office, you know, where I bring in the nice computers, count all the money, sign all the checks, deal with salespeople, do some crying and some reflecting once in a while, if you know what I mean. No, but in all honesty, guys, I hope this video helps you with your journey and your new business, or maybe you're in business and want to learn a little bit more. But to be honest with you, it's going to be a battle. It's going to be fun at times, it's going to be hell at times, and you're going to enjoy it sometimes, you're going to wish you never opened it sometimes. It's just part of life. But I wish you guys the best, and I'm going to leave you guys with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're here still, please subscribe down below, and we're going to keep making these videos. Alright, have a great one. Bye now.